Finally, the reason behind Toralei's wickedness, cruelty, and other aspects that make her a villain has been revealed. Today, you'll uncover the motive. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Toralei's life is bleak. It's no secret that Cleo and Frankie will soon be partners. The romance itself is fantastic news, but there's something else that stands out in this relationship. One of them is jealous and toxic. In this episode, you'll discover who the toxic person is, as we delve into things you didn't know about the third generation of Monster High. We'll also discuss certain canonical traits of other characters like Lagoona, Finnegan, and Twyla. Pay close attention to this scene and tell me what the problem you see. I think you've quickly noticed the obvious. Lagoona has quite a dangerous behaviour. This problem comes to light in stressful moments, when she can't make decisions or when she gets too angry. She has fits of rage that lead her to bite anything within reach, and chewable. The most dangerous part is that everything she bites can't return to its original state, not even with magic. Now that we know what situation this girl is facing, let's delve into the background of her problem. It's possible she's experiencing some family violence, as the cause of her condition arose from a heated argument in her family about what kind of fish to choose for lunch. The dispute ended in a big fight, and everyone went their separate ways. This negatively affected Lagoona, causing her traumas. These traumas caused her emotional instability, experiencing difficulties in controlling her anger. The only way to calm her emotions is through a toy called Squishy. We're all familiar with the type of character Toralei is. A wicked, cruel, deceitful kitty. Truly deceitful! What you'll see next might change your opinion about her. Toralei's awful attitude has a logical and depressing explanation, at least for Generation 3. This kitty faces a problem that's relatively common in our times. In certain families, children don't receive the proper attention from their parents. Toralei is in a similar situation. It turns out she acts that way because she's solely seeking her mother's attention to feel good about herself. That's exactly what she hints at when she talks about her deepest feelings. Pay close attention to this. In one episode, Toralei reveals that she misses how her mother used to be because now they don't have time to spend together as mother and daughter.
I miss my mom too.
What? Well, your mom is here. Like, literally, she's at Monster High.
I mean, I miss how she was when I was little. Before your mom went into that portal and my mom took her place as Ruler. Now she's different. So busy. She never has time for me.
This would explain the terrible reason why she gets into so much trouble, to feel some attention from her mother and fill the void she feels. For this very reason, she agrees to be an accomplice to her mother in stealing Clawdeen's talisman, just to have her approval and spend time by her side. Now that we know the other side of Toralei's reality, drop a sad emoji if your opinion about her has changed. Frankie Stein is a box of surprises, and in a few seconds, you'll see why I say that. Apparently, in this generation, Cleo and Frankie have very special feelings for each other, and it's highly likely they'll start a romantic relationship. If you leave a heart in the comments, you'll be saying, "Cheers to the partners!" This is evident in the scenes where both characters interact, especially Frankie. At certain moments, Frankie seems to lose control of themselves when talking to Cleo. When the Egyptian princess says something sweet, Frankie blushes, showing the great affection they feel for her. Aww, you just have to look at their face to realize they're in love. A similar behavior is also observed in Cleo, although it's not as obvious, as she's a bit more reserved. However, that's just part of the story. There's something else that adds a special touch to this romantic relationship. All signs point to Frankie being a box of surprises. They exhibit somewhat toxic behaviors when feeling jealous. Frankie creates quite a drama due to the jealousy they feel. They thought that Cleo's ex-boyfriend Juice wanted to approach Cleo to invite her to the dance together. It's at this point where their toxic and jealous behavior reaches its peak, transforming the sweet Frankie we know. They firmly believed that Cleo would accept her ex's proposal. So, they chased the boy to where he was going to meet Cleo. With each passing minute, they sink deeper into sadness. Upon arriving at the location, their demeanor reflects deep sadness, as if their heart were about to break. So disconnected from themselves, they end up tripping and falling over a table. In the end, it turns out it wasn't as they thought. Do you know what the worst part of this whole situation is? It's the fact that, at this point in their story, Cleo and Frankie were barely getting to know each other enough to start a relationship. If Frankie acts like this at this stage of the relationship, I don't want to imagine how they'll act when they officially become a couple. It's no doubt they created a great drama because of their own toxic ideas. The only explanation for this behavior is that when Frankie was created, they inserted something of a toxic person inside them, fueling their jealous and toxic attitude. The character of Twyla holds numerous mysteries and curiosities, but we only see one side of her life. If we take a peek at the other side, we'll discover a condition she was born with. Though it's not a conventional illness, but rather a condition. She has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, meaning she has autism. This condition is characterized by communication problems and the presence of very marked behaviors and interests. This is reflected in Twyla's behavior. She's shy, feels uncomfortable in noisy environments, and around unfamiliar people. Her way of speaking is discreet, accompanied by a reserved character, and she always prefers to stay in the shadows. Although these traits are also present in all three versions of the character, they somehow fit with her role as the daughter of the boogeyman, creating a connection between her personality and the nocturnal mythology that surrounds her. However, in this generation, they take on a deeper meaning. Twyla's diagnosis was revealed because she felt uncomfortable with the situation that was happening and just wanted peace. Frankie and her friends were in the library, listening to music, when Twyla took the horn and took it away to turn off the music. Seconds later, she revealed that she is autistic and that the noise is uncomfortable and even painful for her.
I am autistic, and loudness bothers me.
Exactly what she mentions is known as a symptom called hyperacusis, which is part of autism spectrum disorder, ASD. The most admirable thing about her is that she knows how to control her emotions when she feels uncomfortable. She always carries a bracelet with her that helps her deal with overwhelming sensory situations. In real life, similar techniques are used, from poppets to chew toys to necklaces, which help relax autistic individuals. What you've just discovered is only the tip of the iceberg of the many mysteries surrounding Twyla. In a previous episode, we addressed a topic that suggests Twyla is a giant proof of the existence of the Monster High multiverse. In the pinned comment, I'll leave you the link to the video in case you're interested in learning more about it. This new version of Monster High stands out for its diversity, aiming to connect with fresh audiences. That's why Finn's story now takes on significant contrast in his life. Apparently, he faces some form of disability, or at least it's implied. What's peculiar about Finnegan is that he's always depicted in a wheelchair, never walking or even swimming for pleasure, unlike other characters of his species or similar. Monster High goes beyond by subtly exploring the challenges he faces living with limitations. One of these challenges is the battle against loneliness. On several occasions, we see him as somewhat of a solitary character, even in the series' introductory scene, where he appears apart from the group of monsters, despite having people around him. The series also discreetly suggests that not all characters he considers friends are truly his friends. In one episode, we see Finn practicing to be the band leader, and interestingly, Claude walks by, and Finn comments on the flute he's holding. "You won't believe what happened! Claude simply ignores him completely!"
Nice flute, Claude.
Let's set that aside and delve into his diagnosis. According to his background, Finnegan was born without the ability to move his tail properly, which prevents him from swimming like other sea creatures. This disability could be likened to paralysis or polio in our reality. Digging deeper into his story, we encounter a touching detail. When he was just a child, he met a character named River, who also faced a medical condition but resisted professional treatment. Finn did everything he could to convince him to undergo physiotherapy sessions. Thanks to Finn, River was able to recover. From that moment on, a beautiful and sincere friendship was forged between Finnegan and River, which developed at the Children's Hospital where they both attended therapy sessions.